My name is Alexandra Spieldoch, and I've been engaged in policy advocacy and as an activist on women's rights and issues pertaining to agriculture and food security for many years. And when asked what would it take to create a food system that works for women, I guess my short answer is leadership. I really feel that we're at a time when strong leadership is needed to shift the paradigm across the board, and certainly from the women's movement. One of the challenges that I see is that we're often running behind the problems still, instead of stepping out in front of them. And we know many of the negative impacts of the food system on women's lives and on the lives of members of their families and their communities. So, where we need to go at this point is to define the specific set of objectives that will move us forward. And that means moving beyond just say no approaches, or even going beyond gender mainstreaming, which has its value, but also can be limited in terms of not being as transformative as it needs to be. I think that we need to break out of our silos that we're in, where you have the women's movement in one corner and you have land specialists in another, food security specialists in one corner and water specialists in another, to define an agenda that's interconnected and one that is also based on technical expertise. So one of the things we need to do is really invest in the kinds of expertise that will help us to move beyond general positions and to be able to engage much more effectively. And this means having more economists who can make that stronger connection between impacts in the microeconomy as well as the macroeconomy. This means new scientists and learning from practices in the field and research that works. This means urban planners and rural development planners thinking outside of the box for the kinds of development that will help to propel us forward in new and positive ways. We also need the finances to be able to invest effectively, and for that we need a progressive pool of funders or network of funders that cares about these issues. And in particular, where investment may be flowing towards large-scale initiatives or ways to insert women farmers into global supply chains, I'd like to see more funding go toward supporting viable markets at the local level and agroecological practices and post-harvest technologies that save women's lives, as well as leadership training and support for new spaces that allow for decision-making, strong decision-making that is being generated by women themselves. Lastly, I think that we have a real opportunity to learn from one another, to be honest about what's working, what could work, and what isn't. And for that, we need to be mapping the leaders that are out there, the work that they're doing, and identifying what can be done. Again, I think leadership is the core issue moving forward, and the way we get there is by creating a space and a dialogue for real, positive, transformative change. And this will be the difference in creating a food system that works for women.